Hi, Amy of Fashion Toppings here with my vlog for this week. And first thing, I had a few things written down, things that throughout the week that kind of bother me, and I've been writing them down just so I can see if maybe I'm the only person. Well, this week, two major things came up that really bothered me this week. I take my dogs for walks. I have 3 dogs. Now, granted, Bella has her e-collar on, so I have to walk her separately. But on the dog leash, I will tie a grocery bag on it so that if she would happen to have to poop in someone's yard, that I have something readily available and I'm gonna pick it up. And that's one of my pet peeves right now, is that we have a large front yard, and our neighbors across the street, which they're not directly across the street, they're just kind of kitty corner from us, but I don't think she subscribes to my channel, but we'll see. They come across the street and they potty their dogs on our side of the street, and they never bring a bag to clean up after their dogs. They have 2 dogs, and they're big dogs too, so it's not like they're leaving little tiny droppings in the yard. And some of it's part of our HOA common ground too, but that meets right into our property. But I come home and I will see them walking across the street to potty their dogs along the common ground that attaches to, along the sidewalk that attaches to our property. And it just drives me crazy. When you go for a walk, you know there's a good chance that your dog is gonna go to the bathroom in someone else's yard. Now, I do not potty my dogs in my front yard. I don't like having dog crap in my front yard. And my dogs go out in the backyard, and my neighbors to the back of me will be the first ones to say that they see me out there all the time with my surgical gloves on and my garbage bag, and I'm picking up poo with surgical gloves. And I pick up poo 2-3 times a week. And but it's just driving me crazy that my neighbors, just one neighbor, one specific neighbor, will actually let their dog come across the street, and even they've got their kids doing this too. So I'll see like adult teenage kids walking those same 2 dogs across the street to go to the bathroom, and they never have a bag with them. I think on a rare occasion I've seen them actually have a bag with them and clean it up, but I would say 90% of the time that they let their dogs poo and then they keep walking. And it's just driving me crazy, because then when I take my dogs for a walk, my dogs have to stop and smell all the poo. And it's just been rubbing me wrong lately. It's driving me crazy. It's just like, your dog poos, pick it up. I love those signs that we have 2 people in our neighborhood that have this sign. I think is so hilarious. It's like a Scotty dog or something like that. It's like a little statue thing, and it's the dog is in that arched pooing position, and then it says no poo, or no poop, or just the words no. One of them has just the words big no on it, so it's no, and then it shows the dog pooing. And then the other one, maybe the other one just says no too. I think they both just say no. I don't think they use the word poop. But either way, I'm not gonna put one of those in my yard, but I'm about ready to, just temporarily, to give the neighbors a hint that if you want your dogs to poo in someone's yard, make it your own, your own yard. You can clean it up. It's the same thing, like we also have, oh, okay, here comes someone walking, and this is the strangest dog I've ever seen. If I can turn around, and if I can turn the camera around so where she doesn't see it, I'm gonna do it. Just so I can show you this dog. No, I won't do it, because I don't want, she looks like she's in her pajamas walking around. There's a lady walking her dog through the parking lot, and the dog has no hair in its legs all the way up to its torso, and then it has a big fur, you know, scruffy fur on its torso. It might have had mange, maybe it had mange, I don't know. Sorry, someone passing by. Oh, the other thing, you know, it's not just dogs. We also have like 4 neighbors who have black cats, and which is fine. I love cats, do love cats, but I like indoor cats. But I drive a white car, and the thing is that these neighbors, they let their cats out in the morning, and then they must let them back in at night, or vice versa, whatever. But randomly, I keep on finding cat prints on my car. And specifically, we do have one black cat that lives across the street, and that cat sits on our front porch. So they let the cat out, and the cat comes to our yard. Well, you know, I'm a dog person. I've got a lot of dogs. It gets my dogs barking, either in the house. When that cat comes to the front door, my dogs must hear it or smell it or something, but my dogs will start barking. But this cat, so then I have to go out and shoo this cat off my property. And I look like the mean lady out there. Get out of here, cat, shoo, shoo, shoo. Sometimes I'm in my pajamas. And, but, you know, these outdoor cats. Now, I don't let my dogs go run around my neighbor's yards. I don't think that these cats should be running around in my yard. And it drives me crazy about, you know, having outdoor cats, you know, roaming the neighborhood. Because one, it wouldn't be a big deal if I wouldn't see them, but they climb through our wrought iron fence and they'll be in my backyard. So then when I let my dogs out, I know if there's a cat in the yard. My dogs bolt and they run after it. Well, one of these times I'm gonna feel bad. One of these times my dogs are gonna get hold of one of those cats in my yard and they're gonna kill it. And then I'm gonna feel bad when I shouldn't feel bad, because they should have their cats in their yard or in their house. I don't like to have cats in my yard, especially when I find I just spent 15 bucks to have my car washed and I come out in the morning and I have a cat print on my hood. And so that's my neighborhood pet peeves right now. Speaking of neighborhoods, we did find land. I told you in my last video that we're looking for land and my husband wants to build a house. We did find the land. We're doing the surveying right now, and we'll see what happens. And so I'll keep you updated on that. What else? But that was on my pet peeve list. I'm using my phone to prop my camera up and all my notes are on my phone. That was one of them. Oh, and then Starbucks. I spend a lot of time at Starbucks because I have to wait for my kids. I drop them off at certain things and then it's too far for me to drive home. So I sit at Starbucks for hours on end. Every time my kids have these events, I gotta go sit at Starbucks. So I spend a lot of money at Starbucks. I'm thinking I spend at least 150 bucks a month at Starbucks, if not more. And, you know, I mean, I love coffee, just love coffee. And one of my pet peeves also is two things about Starbucks. I love Starbucks. One of the things is, so I'm sitting at Starbucks and this lady comes in, and she's come in several times. I sit at the same Starbucks very frequently. And this same lady has come in several times, and she'll come in and she'll order her coffee, and then she sits down a big Bojangles bag of food, and she brings her own food into Starbucks, and she puts out her breakfast biscuit, it looks like a little side order of hash browns or something, but so she puts out an entire meal sitting on a Starbucks table that's not from Starbucks. Now, get you, if you go to Starbucks, you know Starbucks sells biscuits, they sell breakfast food, and I have to laugh. One time I was so embarrassed I had to move because I didn't want people thinking that that was me, because she'd get up and go to the bathroom and she'd leave her food there, and I'm like, oh God, that's not mine. And so I've actually had to move my seat so I wasn't next to her, because they didn't want people thinking that that was my food. But this lady keeps bringing Bojangles. She brings in this food and just kind of just takes this whole section of it. You know, Starbucks has big long tables, so we all have to share a sitting area. And I just laugh because she puts out her big breakfast and she has one tall coffee from Starbucks. So she's just using Starbucks for the location and the Wi-Fi. So she gets a tall coffee and then she eats this big Bojangles meal. So I got a kick out of that. And then also at Starbucks, you know, just this other day, I had this guy go on a rant. You know, he sees me there all the time. So, you know, he thinks it's, you know, he knows me well enough that he can strike up a conversation with me. And what was funny and it's not like the regular, there's a group of retired guys that meet there on a regular basis, and I love them. They are hilarious. Their topics, they're really into talking about electric cars and electronics and government and all this kind of stuff. So I have fun talking with them in the mornings. But there was one gentleman that just came in, and he's been in a couple times, but he starts going on a rant with me about why are all these people coming with electronics and taking up seats and sitting here for hours, and there's patrons that are trying to come in here and have coffee and a place to sit to enjoy themselves. Well, which is fine. He's ranting, but he's ranting to me while I'm editing videos for YouTube. So I'm sitting at Starbucks and I'm editing videos because I have to sit at Starbucks for 3 hours for this one event, and because it's too far from home, and so I do this on a regular basis. And so I knew I was gonna be at Starbucks for 3 hours. So I brought my laptop so I could do some editing. And it's so funny, so he's kept on leaning over to me complaining about all these people in Starbucks with their laptops, and that why are they in there? You know, don't they have anything better to do than take up a seat at Starbucks? As I'm looking at them going, yeah, that'd be me. I'm editing my video here. And it was so funny. So I looked over at him, I'm like, well, actually, you know, my son doesn't drive and I'm his ride and I have to sit here for 3 hours. So I do have to be here. It's free Wi-Fi, but I am drinking coffee. And as much as I spent at Starbucks, I pretty much rented that chair for the month. I didn't tell him that, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm thinking since, you know, my minimum amount of money I spend at Starbucks every month is about $150. So I think I pretty much have rented this little chair here for the rest of the month. I can sit here for 24 hours if I want to. But it was just so funny. I mean, it's almost like he was oblivious to the fact that I'm sitting there with a laptop and a coffee, doing work and using Wi-Fi. But he just wouldn't stop. He kept on leaning over and he's like, that gentleman over, you know, like, you know, them over there, look at that. They're not even drinking coffee. They're just sitting there taking up a seat. And just, the guy just started going off. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? So those are my 2 Starbucks stories for the week. And, oh, and then today I had a hair appointment this morning, so I got my hair trimmed again. You know, just, I have to get it trimmed on a regular basis. I have to get it trimmed on a regular basis because this really short stuff gets caught in my collar, and if it gets long, then it sticks out. And so it's been 6 weeks since I got my hair cut. So, I mean, that's pretty standard, I guess. Someone texted me, but it's underneath the camera, so I can't check it. But I did have my pink updated. My pink had washed out. It only lasted about 5 weeks, but you can see it. I did have more of that hot pink put in. It comes across as purple. And I think that's what I like about it, because it's not total pink. You can't really see it there. There you go. You can see it. So I had my pink updated because the pink it only lasted about 5 weeks, and I love having the pink in there. So I just had my hair trimmed and had the pink put in there, and that, you know, and she's so reasonable and I love her to death, you know, my beautician. And I'm kind of, you know, excited about, you know, trying something new every time I go in there, but I love what she did this last time, so I'm gonna stick with this hairdo. So who knows, I'll have this for about a year and then I'll try something new, but I absolutely love what she does, how she cuts it. I mean, I've got very thin, fine hair, so before I had the same hairdo for 6 years. And even though I loved my last hairdo, you know, basically the bob, but I had that, seriously, I think I've had that for 6-7 years. But I liked the haircut. I just got bored with it, and this is so much more fun, and it's also a lot easier to do. Boy, I'm in the shower and out the door in 30 minutes, and it takes me longer to put on my makeup than it takes me to do my hair. So I love having my hair short. What else? I haven't really done any sewing this week because Bella has that e-collar on and she gets it off tomorrow. Yay! And of course I'm gone all day tomorrow. I'm actually working a church event for 8 hours, and so I'm gonna be at church for 8 hours tomorrow. So my kids have to deal with the last day of the e-collar. Bella is still not having it. I feel so bad for her. She needs exercise, and she hasn't been, you know, she hasn't had a lot of exercise because that e-collar, and they told us we can't because of her stitches. She got spayed. And so she gets the e-collar off. Tomorrow's her last day, and we go back to obedience training on Sunday, which I'm really excited about that because she definitely needs the obedience training, but she's such a sweetheart. And she has been away from my other 2 dogs for 10 days almost, and so I know she's missing them. They're not missing her, but I know she's missing them. So I've been sleeping in the basement with Bella for, well, 9 days now, and it's like clockwork. She wakes up at 4 a.m. She whines. I don't get my butt out of bed until 5:30, unless it's that, you could, as a mom, y'all know, you can tell your dog's whine from one way to another. I can tell the, I'm bored, I want up, can anybody hear me, that whine, and the whine of, I gotta go. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna make a mess in this kennel if you don't get me out of here now, pronto. I can tell the difference between the 2 whines. So at 4 o'clock, it's the, I'm bored, please get me out of here whine. And then by 5:30, it peaks up to, wow, I gotta go, get me out, bathroom time. So I'm excited about getting her e-collar off, letting her exercise and getting her tired so that I don't hear the whine until 5:30 in the morning, and then I'd be okay. But waking up at 4 and not falling back to sleep into a sound sleep and then getting back up at 5:30 is just my eyes. I don't know if you can be able to tell. Yesterday, my eyes were so bloodshot red. I looked like I was on a 10-day bender. My eyes were just like, I looked like I belonged, yeah, I'm doing a video. Someone drove by slow and looked at me. My eyes looked like I was on a huge, you know, like I'd been in Vegas for days. My eyes were just so bloodshot red. And so I'll be excited to be able to get a full night's sleep. And I think Bella will be excited to have a full night's sleep too. But I'm really getting attached to her. I wasn't as attached to her at the beginning because I had the mindset, I'm fostering, I'm gonna get her to be a really good puppy and healthy and then adopt her out. And so I kind of had that mindset, but now I've got that mindset that she's my girl, you know. So, well, my battery's running low. I better get going. That was this week's vlog. Don't forget to email me if there's any topics you wanted me to talk about, or if there's any questions you have for me. I'm hoping like next week's vlog will be a question answer session. So if there's any questions you have for me that you're curious and you want me to answer, within reason, shoot them off to me to fashiontoppings@gmail.com. Well, this is Amy with Fashion Toppings. Until next time, you have a great day. Bye-bye.